Yeah.
Okay, it's 6:35. I apologize for the delay, and I'll call this session of work session of the City Mayor and City Council of the City of Snellville to order. Sir?
It's only 6:33. That's wrong.
It's 6:33.
According to the atomic clock.
It wasn't me.
I know.
Your turn's coming.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
If I could, can I just introduce someone that's going to be in the work
Certainly
session
can.
with us? This is Javier Rivera, Troop 231. He's a junior at South Gwinnett, and he's here as part of his government merit badge, I guess, right? Did I get that about close? Yeah. Good. So
excellent.
I want to welcome him, and I think Christie's already lassoed him for when he gets to be a senior. So I think so. But anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part.
Good to have you. Okay, let's start with our discussion of the city seal and logo. They have my name behind it, but I don't think I'm the one that brought it up, so I'll turn it over to the city manager.
We have we came to the realization that we have a seal that the clerk uses and is on all of our stationery, the red, white, and blue seal. And we also have, with the branding wayfinding sign program, we also have what I would call a logo, the acorn with the Snellville in the middle. All other groups are using it, and our city clerk wanted to make sure that you guys decided to separate them. That we have an official seal, but we also have an official logo to use the acorn and the wayfinding signage design. And we really do need to take action to do that, I guess, because everybody is grabbing different things, and if we come up with the official logo and the official, we already have the seal. If we could do the logo, then it'll just clarify things for everybody. And if you don't mind, we'll bring that back to you and show you exactly what we're talking about.
Bobby?
And get that.
There's a part of that that's trademarked. Is just his slogan is the only thing we've ever trademarked?
The
or
slogan's
is it
the only
just,
thing that's ever been trademarked.
so we don't have any trademarking or mark of anything. So that would be something else that if we need to do that in conjunction with this, we need to look at that too, I think.
The logo or the seal?
Either.
Is the seal trademark, do you know?
We did back in I think 2005 or 6, there was a big marketing done for this. I forget what you call it, but I can look through all the paperwork and see, because I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be good if
Yeah,
I think it would be good if we know that, and whether or not it's even something we should, need to do. I think it might be something we think about just as a protective measure, just like we did.
When you use them, you are protected. You know, just by using and creating something, you do have protections from other people interfering with something that you've already created.
Okay, so when I sign your name to something, I've got protection, right?
Not the same way you might want to.
Okay, luckily for me, Ms. Bender did not bring to my attention, to everyone's attention, that we did not go over the meeting agenda prior to bringing up the work session. So,
See, you're self-correcting. That's a good sign.
Is that, yeah, I'm learning. I see the
spell check.
last night. Is there anyone have anything over the on the regular agenda? I know that, Christy, you are going to amend the agenda. We're going to bring item E.
Actually, D and
E, and you're going to bring them up to ceremonial matters, D and E.
Oh, okay. If I can do that, sure. Even though it's new business, there's not a problem with that?
Yes,
Okay,
no problem.
great.
I got Mr. Powell's nod of approval.
Okay.
Okay. So what we will do is we will have our, honor Sergeant Collins and Bart, and then the Relay for Life, in recognition of Kelly McAloon. She has received 2 designations, which we're going to present her with those designations tonight. And then we will enact the resolution for the youth ambassadors, and then present the Youth Ambassador Council. Is that, am I right?
Youth Commission
Commission.
ambassadors.
But the advisors, the
Oh, yeah, I'll read the advisors off, and
advisors
not all of them are
often,
here. And
which is a
then,
very impressive group, and
it is.
hopefully that most of them will be with us tonight.
I assume all of them will, not
That's
all
gonna
of
be
the
very
adults,
impressive.
but certainly the students.
Okay, great.
And we're ready to
So we'll
go.
get that
Okay,
up and running.
The point at which I amend the agenda is after the flag, then? After
And
the
we go to
pledge?
ceremonial matters, when I announce ceremonial matters, you'll
Okay,
just, you'll ask for the floor.
intervene and then go from there. Okay.
Is that about right? All right, then we'll have, we have the second reading. Anybody have any questions on the second reading? We need Jason to explain anything to anybody on that?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, and then we'll go, we don't have any consent agenda, new business, we have consideration and action on approval statewide mutual aid and assistance agreement. I'm sure someone will explain that to us when we get to it.
It's just house cleaning with the state, with Gina, Roy and Greg are on there as official parties to request their assistance if needed.
Okay.
And that's different from the coup that we're working with
Yeah.
Marshall on. That's
Yeah.
a
This is
separate
just
thing with
a-
the county.
I think this gets done every
Yeah.
4 or 5 years.
Then we'll have we have a nomination confirmation for the Parks and Rec, and I believe that it's come from the board at Parks and Rec and been vetted by that group. That's great. We're going to have an addition to the SPOS resurfacing program, and then the youth commission is swearing as the youth commission already has been accomplished. Okay, then we'll go to council reports and public hearing. We will have executive session tonight. Hopefully we'll have that between work sessions.
Really, game 7,
What time does that start?
8:30.
Well, then maybe we can hold the exec session until after the meeting.
And there you have it.
Never let
Somebody
it be
register their
said,
disapproval.
never let it be said
And
that.
that's when the fight starts.
All right, so now we're back to the
Mayor
work
has
session. Is that
priorities.
anything else on the public hearing? Everybody good with everything we went over? Great. We're back to the work session. This one here is this one confuses me every time I read it. Discussion of the City of Grayson's SPOS committee representative.
We have that appointment, and when we
Why
report,
would we have an appointment of the Grayson?
We appoint Grayson's a representative?
don't ask me, it's history. But the county finance office
Answer I
has
got, too.
deferred to us, and so I'm asking you guys to have a conversation with the City of Grayson folks for a recommendation. The lady who was on there wants to come off, or she is off, and so I would just talk to Allison and them about a recommendation. When we go quarterly and give a report to the Citizens Advisory Committee, we report on behalf of Grayson and Loganville. And Loganville being in 2 counties, they don't have a representative, but Grayson does. So that's where we are.
Do we have a candidate?
And that's why I'm saying you need to have a conversation with
So we need to talk with Allison, ask her who she would like to.
Well, I think that gives us some power and control over
It
Grayson.
does, it does, it does.
It's an important position. They have a voice on what happens SPOS-wise.
I'm just thinking, maybe we should.
Is there any way we
have
get
a
this
nominee?
spot? They're under the small city spots thing, right? They don't,
That may be why they're not,
they're
they
below,
don't get a
they're
person
below
on the board, yeah.
population. minimums.
They get a minimum share, at least in the past. We'll
Right.
see what happens this time.
eBay tracking and reporting of sales, Bobby.
Brought this up a couple of weeks ago. We had, a lot of stuff that we're surplusing on eBay, and so going through the process, learning that it's a lot of work to it to be able to do it, the most effective way to do it. John McKinney, Lieutenant McKinney, is probably spearheading most of that. That's running that, and what I would like to do is to have anything we're surplusing, Melissa, if we could, have it on a spreadsheet of some sort that has some identifying factors on it. 'Cause number one, what it is. Number two, when it went on, when we surplused it, just for a historical data in case anything ever were said about something we sold or whatever. You'd have basically one sheet of paper that had all the information about that item on it. In other words, when we said, when it went into surplus, when it actually ended up on eBay, when the sale was final, those kind of things, and then, an identifier on it. Of course, on the car, it would be a VIN number, those kind of things, but just not everything has one.
What I sent you, was that kind of the format?
That's kind
that
of the
you want?
format, yeah. I think we need to add a few boxes for some stuff. But in that last run of stuff that was sold, which included just a couple of cars, I think if everybody picks up what they said they wanted to buy, it was roughly about $17,000. So it can run into some significant money that I think, that we can have we just need to identify it. And we need to look at that list, same like we're looking at our list every week. We look at it, and it'll be somewhat of it may smooth out a little bit where we have, rather than have so many peaks, we may start putting stuff, asking to put stuff on it on a little more regular basis so that it's a little more smooth rather than just having a boom here and a spike and then it goes nothing, and then all of a sudden it spikes up again. But, I just want us to clarify that part of our operation so that we all could understand exactly, here's, the list of 72 items over the last 2 years that we surplused and what actually we gained. It's a tangible result of what we're doing that everybody can have and understand. So
I think it's a grand idea.
So, and I think it'll give us a little better vision of why, the money we're putting into it doing it, but the gain we're realizing and why we're doing it. So, and there may be some opportunities to do some other stuff.
We can make that happen.
And just so that we know, the city of Snellville has a seller ID, and then the city of Snellville PD has for their items that have been confiscated and things like that, they're eligible to sell. So it's two very delineated approaches to that. And then the Gwinnett County Board of Commissioners has one for everything Gwinnett County does. And then as we move forward, Melissa, doing that, it's been suggested that the computer stuff be kind of lumped in as a lump of things, rather than just trying to sell one base computer, a list of, 10 or 20 items in that lot, if you will, computer items and stuff like that be sold as lots.
Yeah, we're gonna move everything here to 242 for that next part of the sale.
Okay.
And create the lots up here so people can we'll have it in one center
Perfect.
location.
But I think that once we get a handle on all that, we'll see, the fruits of the labor of everybody.
Excellent. Okay, any more discussion on that? Then let's turn it over to the city manager for our update on our ongoing projects.
All right, let's see, the Town Center Working Plan. We met with Clark Patterson and Lee. They have a rough draft that they are cleaning up for everybody to see of a comprehensive map of the town center, where they have addressed all 4 different small areas. The shopping district is in review by all parties currently. So we should have that sometime in the next week, and we'll send that out and have a review meeting there. Joint city and county plans. We held a meeting with the county SPLOST department, trying to bring everybody up to speed on what our hopes were and involve all the county people, the county SPLOST planning director and their support services folks. The assistant county administrator met with us, and so basically out of that meeting, I felt like we the lesson was we need to keep up our political liaison so they can direct staff also. So it was good that we involved everybody though. Town Center Public Relations, ongoing. We've kept Jeremy updated on everything, and he'll be involved when we receive that final CPL set of plans for the step before the final ones anyway for council review. Public Relations, we should have the brochures in this week in time for Snellville Days. Brian has finalized everything. Probably get those Thursday, you think?
Thursday.
You see the word video there. We're still, Steve is going to schedule the short videos for department heads, and I think the mayor, and just to give people an idea of what the departments do and what our main emphasis is within the departments. We've got our budget meetings this week to discuss budget and the compensation issues therein. We should have a couple of good meetings tomorrow and Wednesday. Probation Services RFQ. You see the yellow note. I'm not sure what else we could do there. The bid's been awarded. The transition is underway. And given that it is a change from one company to another, I think it's going as well as possible. Website update. I think everybody is very happy with the progress we're making there. I mentioned the videos. That will be part of the website. Everybody's kind of getting excited for the final version. So not just the home page, but everything.
We may actually be ahead of schedule.
Well, that's great, because I know people are asking about it. Solid waste bid and ordinance. The bids are under review. We have follow-up meetings scheduled tomorrow, okay?
We had 2 today and we will have 1 Thursday.
Okay, with the top 3 bidders, make sure we're seeing everything that they put in their proposals. They're very thorough and they're very expensive. That's one thing we're going to talk about in the budget meetings. But don't worry, we have it covered. Old Police Station Development Authority of Snellville. That's really done also. The DAS has been reactivated, property transferred, and I would assume in their meeting updates on the agenda, you'll hear about their progress there. Youth Commission, Adult Advisory Committee, it's great progress. We're ready to go tonight. And the shirts, I don't see Kelly here, but everything has been sent off regarding the shirts.
Okay.
Just going to be, we just couldn't get them in time.
No, that's fine. The large thing was the name tags for tonight. So
Good deal.
those are good.
Tree replacement at DDR Shopping Center. I think Wednesday is the arraignment date before the Snellville Municipal Court. Maybe we'll get some home cooking there. Quarterly town hall meetings. May 17th is the meeting date. It's coming up pretty quick, guys. Topics, agenda.
I'm going to suggest that we talk, with this open meeting, we talk about a town center in generalities with people as to what their expectations are, what they'd like to see, and try and see if we can't get that to measurable for what we're looking at. I think we'll have Jeremy involved in that. This is just my suggestion. I'm open to everyone else's suggestions also. I just, Melissa reminded me this morning that it was on the agenda, and I've been thinking about it since then. And I think that, this town center is a big thing, and I think the more involvement we have with our citizens, the better. And it would not be bad for us to have an open house, have them come in and tell us what their expectations are.
Like a small charrette that we did at the high school.
Yeah, but I hate the word charrette.
I know, but nevertheless.
Nobody knows what it means.
And it wouldn't be that formal anyway.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine. It's a town hall meeting. Come in and talk to the council, let's talk about the township. When we talked,
And we could
when
have
we
it-
ran for office last year, that was the number one thing that you wanted. You wanted that, you wanted less, less bad publicity. So, come on, let's talk about town center, let's talk about it. Let's
We
get
can have
an honest conversation.
everything we possibly have, all the pictures, all the renderings,
Mm-hmm.
everything available for people to look at and ask
I
questions.
think, you know, if, we should have the final CPL version. And if we can just advertise the heck out of it, get as
And I
many,
think-
see who's interested in coming.
One step further, I think that Snellville Days on April 30th and May 1st, I think we need to have our stuff there. And we need to talk about the meeting there. Let's talk that meeting up and maybe have some kind of a handout that we can give to people, let them know that that meeting's gonna happen. I don't know whether we should have the meeting here or maybe have it at, maybe at the Methodist Church or the Baptist Church or the Presbyterian Church or somewhere else in the city. But have it outside the city hall. I don't know whether that matters or not, but have a meeting somewhere in the city locally and spend 2 days for most of us that'll be there. I'm gonna ask council to spend as much time as you can there on April 30th and May 1st. We'll schedule that amongst ourselves, but we need to have somebody there all the time. And let's talk about it, let's push it, let's get people to that meeting so that we can find out exactly what the people's thoughts are. Any other input on that?
No, I'm good with that.
You will also have the youth commission handing
Absolutely.
out on the 30th and the 1st.
Then maybe we need to have a meeting with the youth commission a day or two before that.
Well, they'll be here Thursday at 6:30 for a training.
We
In
need
a
to-
couple of
we
days.
need- Okay, we need,
You
because we
want
need to bring them, they need to know enough about it so they
Okay.
can talk about, plus, there should be some of us there, so they, if they get a question they can't handle, or someone wants deeper discussions, that there's one or two of us there that we can have that discussion. It's a great time for us to see a lot of people from Snellville at one point, one time. And if we can get that, that may help us to improve the attendance at that. They can then really have a good meeting. Yes, please.
If somebody gives me, if you pick a date and all that, and give me that information, I can put it up on that electronic board that we have there.
All right?
So
we
it
got
can
the date.
flash up periodically throughout both days.
We have the date and time. Go with Melissa, she has it.
What was the time?
May
May
17th.
Pick a
17th.
time.
7:30.
I'd say 7 o'clock.
7:30.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
7 until 9:30.
I
let's
could
say
check the
9.
hockey schedule, but
Well, let's,
it's obviously not been honored already, so
I'm sorry. Go
it's
ahead.
okay.
Well, and the playoffs go
We're
till
good- we're good
August.
with
I mean,
that,
it's hard
right?
to schedule.
Tonight's do or
a
die.
life on
It's do or die tonight, so.
The Citizen Academy is moving on. We'll have an agenda in June. Signed ordinance update. We're looking at a May 2016 draft for review. I know that Jason and Tony and Chuck have talked about that. Baker's Rock, we haven't heard from Carol, have we? Okay, still working on a to be determined date for the tour there. Teacher internship program, once we get through tonight, maybe we, this will come back up. I put it on the back burner.
Actually, that piggybacks on my advisory board that we could utilize. That is a
Good.
deal, so.
The UDO, stakeholder interviews, I think Ariane has been in touch with just about everybody. They're coming up April 28th and 29th. Everybody from the community will have a chance to give input on their history with our development regs and what they're interested in seeing, what could make us more successful. Charter Review Committee, the committee's in place, ready to start meeting. City Asset Maintenance, Bobby mentioned the auction. I think we've gotten in quite a bit of money, almost $20,000.
Well, and if I could, if we could make eBay standalone on its line, because that's kind of confusing when you talk about city asset maintenance. Maintenance to me was, you know, when we needed to fix senior center, if we need to fix X, Y, or Z. But I think eBay needs to fix, well, maybe it's even a spire on top of the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my next,
Spire on eBay.
So what happened to the spire?
it could have been wind, it could have been a goose, who knows what it was.
I think it was a drone.
The,
I'm not pointing at anybody, Dave Emanuel,
I know.
but I'm thinking
I
it might have been a
appreciate
drone.
They were out here today, and because there were no as-built plans, the only thing in the plans shows a picture of the spire and gives dimensions. Nobody knows what's under it, nobody knows how it's attached. I mean, I'm not, we deal with this problem, with a problem every day about this building. But they are going to come back, Parker Young is, and talk to us about a proposal for putting scaffolding up to get up there where they can remove the spire and uncover what the problem is. We have $1,000 deductible. It's we probably already met that with the boom truck that was out there today.
So today was just an inspection?
That's right. They didn't know.
It wasn't,
They saw the drone pictures. They had no idea because we don't have as-built plans of what's up there. They had no idea what they were going to find, and they couldn't lift it. They thought it was too dangerous to lift it with the piece of equipment they had today. So. The Public Works Storage Building looks good and is complete and is past inspection. Fireworks, I understand the governor still has not signed the bill, so we're...
But it's a 40-day time period after signing that. That's it's 6 days before that, but once you get there, it's still within this time limit.
The Senior Center R&D, we've interviewed 2 consultants now. They're in the last stage of their proposal. I've asked them to go out to Oak Road and submit a plan with with what's in the budget, couple $100,000 budget, and so we get an idea of their work, how they would approach something small like that, and what they recommend. So those are due Friday afternoon, and then we'll get back together and talk about a selection there. The additional projects that I'm going to add, if I remember that, I'm trying to get confirmation on the discussion last week. Roundabout construction, Meadow Lane. I added FY17 SPLOST discussion and planning. It's coming up quickly. Sidewalks construction and CFI. So I will have those on there and give you an update next week, 2 weeks from now.
During the work session of the mayor and the city council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Witz announced that certain matters should be discussed in a closed session of the meeting and asked council to advise the city with respect to closing the meeting. City Attorney Tony Powell advised the city of the following reasons to close the meeting: to discuss pending and/or potential litigation, settlement claims, administrative proceedings, or other judicial actions which is exempt from the Open Meetings Act pursuant to OCGA Section 5014-2-1. To authorize negotiation to purchase, dispose of, or lease property, authorize the ordering of appraisal related to the acquisition of disposal of real property, enter into a contract to purchase, dispose of, or lease property subject to approval in a subsequent public vote, or enter into an option to purchase, dispose of, or lease real estate subject to approval and subsequent